Hi everyone and welcome back to another video. So today I'm doing something a little bit different, and although it is a speed build, but it's actually part of a fixer-upper. Now if you don't know what one of these is, it's basically where somebody makes a house which is all like ruined and it's all dirty and everything, and they put it up on the gallery or something like that, and you have to download it and like renovate it to make it look like a nice livable space. So that's what I did, and this was actually created by Xurbansimsx on YouTube, or Jen, and I downloaded this and I made this today, and I decided to do a speed build with it as well, so you can watch me how I renovated the house. So at the minute I'm just going around the outside, and there were a couple of rules. I did stick to them in a way. I did something a little bit different with them though. There was the maximum price that you could go up to, which was around 63,500 and something simoleons. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head at the minute what it was, but at the time of recording I did know. So I did stay within that limit. I was actually just a little bit below. And you had to move in a house and start with 0 simoleons and then delete things, and the money you get back is what you use to renovate it. But I didn't do that. I just started in build mode with infinite money, and then I just went around and just deleted everything, all the little like weeds and everything, and then started it from there. So it wasn't exactly the rules, but it still works, still under the price range. So you might see a little, well, quite a few jump cuts in this video actually, because it was just a lot of like deleting all these weeds and things inside the house, and I didn't decide to include them on the video because it isn't really something you know to watch, like 20 minutes of watching me cut down weeds and everything. So to start off this, I just went around and deleted all the things inside the house, like I said, and I'm just going around now putting in some windows. It took me a while to find some. I put some in that I thought, okay, I'm going to use these, and then I realised that it doesn't really fit in with the theme of the house, because I did decide to do a dark colour around the outside, and I didn't think that the white frame for the windows went with that, so I changed them around and everything. I think we'll do the back garden last. I think that's right. I can't really remember. I know this video is a little bit long. I didn't expect it to be this long for like a house this small, but it did. So at the minute I'm just going around the front there, and I actually stopped for a second and took how nice that looks, that pathway there. I stopped for a minute and just looked at it because I couldn't believe how perfect it looked. I just used the free hand terrain thing, and it looked really, really nice. So I'm just adding in some little bits of dirt underneath the trees to make it look a little bit more realistic, and then I put those like that terrain paint there with all the little white things, like white flower thing. I can't speak today, with those little white flowers in, and I'm not really a big fan of it, but I couldn't really think of anything else that would work. Without putting them in, it would look a bit bland and boring, so I just decided to put them in. And then for the back garden I put some of those hedge fences in, because before it looked like a prison, so I decided to change them around, and now we're on to the inside. So what I'm going to do first is just put the flooring down for the main part of the house. I had like a light wood floor going around to contrast like the outside how it's a bit darker, and then I'm just going to do in the living room. I have that light colour of wall going throughout most of the house apart from the bathroom and the 2 bedrooms. Oh yeah, if I didn't mention already that there is 1 master bedroom, 1 kid's bedroom and 1 bathroom. So as you can see, I'm going around deleting all the different bits that were previously there. You might have seen that I missed a little bit of it, but that was just so I could clear everything away quickly, so I could get a little idea of what I had, and then I went in later and deleted everything that I didn't want to be there. So you might see some bits of graffiti and things later on. So I'm just putting in the TV there. I had to remove that TV at the end because I went slightly over the lot value that was you had to have. So I delete that and put a smaller TV in later, but you'll see that towards the end. Putting some cream coloured couches and seats and things, and then decided to put a fireplace there, which seemed a good idea at the time, but because you know it's been like an abandoned house and everything, so I thought that would make it nice and homely and cozy and things like that for the new owners, but it just didn't really work. I just thought that those chairs were too close to it. It's a bit of a fire hazard. As well, this house is a safety hazard as well, so I don't want to make it a fire hazard. But I ended up just changing that to a bookshelf, so it was a little bit more spacious. I felt like I was cramming too much in that corner, so a bookshelf fit much, much better. Still kept the 2 little chairs there. And now I'm just going around putting in the curtains and things. So as you can see there's a lighting glitch where the curtain turns blue. I've mentioned it so many times in my other videos, and I'm really, really annoyed about it. I don't know why, it's just, it keeps doing that all the time where it turns like dark blue. So there was that problem, but I know underneath there that actually that colour that I wanted, so I'm not too bothered. And I just go around and putting them in. With those smaller windows there, it was really hard to find one which actually worked. There was that cover which covered the whole thing, but I thought it doesn't really let a lot of light in, so I think I just left that window blank because there really wasn't a curtain that went with it well. We'll put a little doormat next to the door there just to wipe your feet when you come in, so you don't ruin all the floor and everything. So yeah, can't really remember what's next. Oh yeah, just put a little table there, and also put a mirror on the wall. I just thought that well, you say that sometimes in people's hallways and homes. I have a mirror in the hallway of our house, so I just think it's just nice to have a little mirror there, which I haven't put in just yet, but you see that in a second. And a little table there where you can put your keys on or whatever. Put a little shoe rack down there. Just adding little bits of clutter to make it look more homely. I'm not too fond of this whole living area bit. It feels a little bit plain, like, I don't know, just bland and plain a little bit. I mean, I suppose it's okay, and it is really like, I was going to say start at home, but it's not really, but you kind of get the idea. It's linked to that. So yeah, it was kind of hard to fill that space there. So yeah, this, like I said, this was created by Jen on YouTube. If you want to go and subscribe to her, then I'll leave her video where you can go and also subscribe to her channel down below of her actually making this house. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed to Jen, then you should be. She's my favourite sim YouTuber on YouTube here. And wait, I said YouTube twice for no reason, I don't know why. So yeah, she's actually been helping me quite a bit on Twitter with getting my settings right for Dxtory, because I don't know if I've mentioned this, but one of my files for part 14 of my cons family, which you wouldn't see today because, well, I'll tell you more about in a second. The file was 110 gigabytes, and I couldn't believe it. I thought there was like something wrong. I was reading it wrong. Like, it can't be 110 megabytes, but 110 gigabytes sounds too big. But she helped me with a codec that I should have and everything. So thanks for that, Jen, if you're watching. And yeah. This was actually uploaded on a Sunday or either Monday. It just depends on how long it takes to upload. And I normally just upload on Saturdays and Thursdays, but I thought that this is something that needs to be uploaded like now, really, just to fit in with this challenge being ongoing now. So yeah, I decided to upload it today for a little bonus video. And I'm just going back into the living room. I think I go back to the living room a couple of times and thinking, oh, I could add this in, I could take this out and such. So I'm just trying to find a little lamp there that could go on the table. And now we'll move on to the kitchen. So I did change this a couple of times. You'll be able to see me there putting all these counters in, and I think it jump cuts in a minute because I decided to put a half wall in just to separate the kitchen out, because it is all an open space. So I thought a half wall would be something little just to separate off the area a little bit. So yeah, I'm just putting in the little necessities there, and I think it's just about now. Oh no, put the cooker in. I really wanted the cooker to go in between those two windows, but I just couldn't, it just wouldn't work. As you can see there, I'm having a little bit of trouble and trying to find a little position there for everything to fit, but it just wouldn't work. So I had to go under one of the windows. I didn't put one of those like extractor fans above it, just because of how much money we have. It was really, really tight. I was kept like panicking throughout the whole video, like, oh, I'm gonna like run out of money here, but luckily I just had enough. There was one point where I was one simoleon under the maximum, and I was like, oh god. So that was a bit scary, but yeah, I'm putting the half wall in there, and I'm just rearranging things to fit it. And then I go to put in this, like, try to find a covering for there, and it just totally like went past my mind that I could just use that painting wall right next to it. And as you can see there, I just put it in. I do change the trim colour at the top. I don't know if I do that right now or not, but I think I'd change it to like a black colour. And yeah, I'm just filling up the space by putting a little rug in, and as you can see, there's a little jump cut there. Just putting the microwave in, and as you can see, I've got those cupboards going along the top, and I'm not too sure if they match the counters on the bottom. Like, I don't know, they just don't seem the right colour, but I couldn't really find anything that matched it, so I guess that'll just have to do. And then I just put another little bit of half wall there just to enclose it a little bit more. I quite like that, just that tiny little addition, like, finished everything off really nicely. So I'm actually quite happy with this kitchen. I think one problem I do a lot is that I end up making the kitchens too big, and I find it hard to fill up the space, and it doesn't really look that good. But this one was quite small and compact and everything, and I think it looked much better. So we're into the dining room now, and as you can see, I'm putting mirrors on the wall. This was something that I seen quite a while ago. I can't remember. I think it was Vixada's video on one of her house builds or something. She put these mirrors in the dining room, and I thought that was such a good idea. So I put them in just to make everything look a bit more open, a bit more spacious and things. So I thought it was a really nice addition. So I put those mirrors in there, and I don't know, I just really liked how that turned out. And as you can see, not the kitchen table, the dining table had 8 chairs, and I'm not too sure why I put that in. I could have made it smaller and had a little bit extra money, but at the time I wasn't really thinking. I suppose only like 3 people will be living in this house, but you know, they might have a party one day, so those 8 chairs might come in handy. Just going around there, as you could see, changing the lights around. At the beginning, I put those little circle lights in temporarily, just messy, not in a particular position, just so I could see what I was doing, and then at the end I went and tidied everything around. As you can see there, I'm putting mirrors in the hallway there, just again for the same reason, just to fill everything up. And also, as you can see there, I put a bar in. Now, I wasn't too sure if that will, I don't know, it just didn't really feel right for how like run down the house is, and oh, there's a bar inside, so I just put a small one in. That space there where I'm putting that rug in, it was really hard to fill that space up, so the bar really only seemed the right thing to do. It was like the only thing that fit there. And yeah, now on to the kids' bedroom. Now this won't, you'll be seeing this in maybe next week or something, but if you're watching my Collins Family Let's Play, then Katie's room I redid using the kids stuff pack, like I did a Creator Sim for using the kids stuff pack, but I did Katie's room, because I think Casper's going to be aging up soon, so I thought it wasn't very much point in doing that, but I suppose this makes up for not doing the boys' bedroom, and here it is. So what I'm doing here is I put the 2 bookshelves together, and I put the bed right next to it to make it look like one big unit type of thing, and I thought that looked really nice how that turned out there. What else am I doing now? I'm just putting the desk in, and I did put a computer on top of that, but then I went back at the end and I barely had any money left, so I had to delete it, which is a bit unfortunate, but I suppose if you put a family in here, they can make some money and hopefully get a computer. That's probably one of the only things that's a bit of disadvantage to this house, is that there wasn't many skill building items. There was a garden area which I put in, which you'll see at the end, so that was pretty much it, but apart from that, there wasn't really many skill building items. Again, if you make some money, you could probably put the computer back in. I put that bin underneath the computer desk, because, well, that's how I have my bin underneath my desk. I'm not too sure if that's, like, going to be functional now, but hopefully it is. I don't really know. I haven't even tested them bins out yet, and you could stuff back. I don't know if they're, like, just decoration or not. So now I'm just going on to fill in the wall, just putting some of those decals in, just to fill up the space a bit, trying to rearrange everything. As you can see, I overlapped everything, little, like, all them decals, overlapped them slightly, just to make it look like as that kid put them up, a little bit messy, a little bit more realistic, I suppose, just look really nice. And I had those strands of lights there, which I really like. They came in quite a few different colours as well. I'm not too sure if that's for a boys' room or not, but I thought it filled up the space nice. It was a nice little light. I really wanted to put that game machine in there, but it just wouldn't fit. I had that chair in the corner as well, but again, didn't really work well, so I put a toy box in there instead. And I'm just putting a rug in there to finish everything off nicely and fill up the space a bit, and that is pretty much it for the boys' bedroom. I just putting some like shelves up there with some trophies on. I didn't realise that I put them exactly over the bed. I wouldn't really want that in my own house, to have a shelf of trophies above my head, because what happens if that falls over during the night? That would hurt. So maybe it doesn't look too realistic, but it fills up the space nicely. Now we're on to the master bedroom, and again I'm doing black and red. That seems to be a really popular colour that I'll do anyway. I've just made another starter house, which should be going up in a couple of weeks' time, I think. And I did a red and black bedroom, and I just can't get away from them. It's just such a nice colour combination that I just sent Wait, what am I saying? I keep messing up here. I keep using red and black just because I think it's a good colour combination. But I think I'm using it a little bit too much, so maybe I could... well, actually, black goes with a lot of different colours, so I could maybe switch it up a little bit and use black and another colour for a little change. So yeah, as you can see, I was having a little bit of trouble trying to find this thing I was looking for. And I was looking for one of those little, like, seats which have no back into them, like that little thing there. I wanted to put it at the end of the bed, but I looked through so many different menus trying to find it, and I couldn't find it. So I put that big rug in there, and I'm not too sure what that looks like. When I'm looking back at it now, I don't really like that much, but it fills up the space really nicely. I think I fit in there really well. So now we're going on to the dresser, and I'm just putting bits of clutter onto it, making it look a bit more lived, and just trying to fill up the space a little bit. Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot I could put in this room because I was really conscious of how much money I had. So yeah, also I didn't put that into the recording, but I put one of those wardrobes in and actually made a little extender of the wall so it'd fit in there nicely. And now we're on to the final bit, which is the exterior. Now I cleaned out the pool a bit, got rid of all that like weeds and all that nasty stuff, and cleaned out the water by putting some new water in, because it didn't really look nice. You probably go in there, you probably get like some sort of disease if you've swam in that before. So yeah, redid that, and now we're just on the landscaping and things, and just putting some plants in. I think I used move objects. Yeah, I did actually. At the start, I didn't have moved objects on, but I did towards the end. Especially for the plants, I think it's a really good idea to use move objects for that, because you can make them all much more closer, and they're not as spread out in on the grid. So yeah, I did that. As you can see, I just changed the TV there and took out the computer just so I had space. And that is pretty much it for this video, so I'm going to end it here. I hope you enjoyed. The screenshots are coming up next. Make sure you go and check out Jen's video, and if you want to download this, then go to my Origin ID, which is ThomasSydney1, and download this and you can play for yourself. And as you can see there, I put some garden pots in there just to for skill building. I went around with the dark terrain paint to make everything look a bit more nicer. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe if you haven't, and share as well. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.